Imagine this. You wake up, check your phone, and see a DM from someone you've never spoken to before. They say they love your content, they ask about your offer, and you reply within a few voice notes. And within minutes, they say yes and pay in full. No chasing, no sales calls, no exhausting back and forth. It sounds amazing, right? Well, this isn't just a lucky break. This is exactly what happened to me when a complete stranger found my Instagram and purchased my 5K offer within 24 hours of finding me. And this isn't just a one-time thing. So how did this happen? Was it just right place, right time? Absolutely not. This happened because my Instagram was fully optimized to guide her through a natural buying journey without me having to manually convince her. And today I'm going to break it all down for you, step by step, so you can replicate it in your business. I'm Avita, and I've built 2 businesses from scratch to 7 figures using Instagram, all through organic marketing. No paid ads, no big launch budgets, no shortcuts, just real strategies that work. I've helped hundreds of business owners turn Instagram into a client-getting machine that runs 24/7, even when they're not online. And today, I am giving you the behind-the-scenes look at one part of that system. Let me be super clear. This is just one way people buy on Instagram, because not every client buys the same way. Some people take their time before buying. They engage with your content for weeks, watching your reels, reading your posts, and replying to your stories. They slowly build trust, ask questions in the DMs, and when the timing feels right for them, they're ready to invest. Some prefer a personal connection, so they want to chat with you, ask a few questions, maybe even hop on a call before committing to an offer. They need reassurance before making their decision. And there are some that are fast action buyers, like I'm one of them. They know what they want. The second they land on your page, everything aligns for them. They see the credibility, the offer, the results, and they buy quickly. And today, I am breaking down exactly how one of those fast action buyers moved through my Instagram in just 24 hours. So by the end of this video, you'll know how to optimize your Instagram so that strangers can go from just found you to just bought from you. How your bio, content, and stories work together to create trust, and how to use Instagram stories and DMs to close sales naturally without feeling pushy. If you want Instagram to work smarter for you, let's dive into exactly how this client found me and made a 5K purchase within 24 hours. So everything started with one single viral reel. She had never heard of me before, she wasn't following me, she wasn't on my email list, and she wasn't in my DMs. She was just scrolling through Instagram like we all do when my viral reel popped in her feed. And here's what I want you to understand. This wasn't random. I created this reel intentionally with the goal of reaching new people who had never heard of me before. A lot of people think going viral is just luck, but virality is actually a formula. Each account has its own viral reel formula. It's not just about getting views, but getting views from the right people who are most likely to convert into clients. And here's the thing, not all viral reels convert. You've probably seen reels with millions of views, but the person still isn't making sales. That's because just going viral isn't enough. The content has to be strategic. How did I structure this reel? I used my signature viral reel formula that includes an attention-grabbing hook, that's the first 3 seconds to stop the scroll, a quick value-packed tutorial, something actionable that people can use immediately, a compelling voiceover to reinforce the message and really keep the engagement high. This combination makes it impossible to ignore. And guess what? It worked, because this reel got over 3 million views. Now, just because a reel goes viral doesn't mean people will take the next step. But because this reel spoke directly to her pain point, she didn't just watch it and scroll away. She clicked on my profile. Now, this is where the real magic starts. Getting the views is great, but what happens next is what determines if someone actually becomes a client. So the second she landed in my profile, She knew she was in the right place. She didn't get confused. She didn't need to scroll endlessly trying to figure out what I do or if I could help her. Why? Because my bio was clear, direct, and it's fully optimized to do the work for me. Let me walk you through exactly how it's structured. So the first line of my bio says, get more leads and turn Instagram into a sales machine. That one sentence immediately tells her who I help, how I help them. It's specific and actionable. So if you think about it, the phrase get more leads speaks directly to business owners, people who rely on leads to grow their businesses. Like, I'm not talking to casual Instagram users or people who just want to grow their following for fun. I'm speaking directly to business owners who want a clear result, more leads and more sales. And now there's the second part of that sentence. Turn Instagram into a sales machine. This shows exactly how I help. I'm not just teaching Instagram for likes, views, or followers. I'm actually showing people how to turn Instagram into a tool that generates consistent revenue. It's not vague or confusing. It's clear, direct, and results driven, which is exactly what my ideal client is looking for. Now, the next part of my bio goes a step further. It says ex-corporate plus 15 years marketing. So this adds credibility and shows what makes me different. When someone reads this, they know that I've spent years in the marketing world. So working with strategies and solutions that actually gets results. So it's not just about my personal experience on Instagram. It's about my extensive background in marketing as a whole. Then comes my social proof. My bio says 1 million in year 1 on IG, all organic. So this line instantly builds trust. It tells people that I've done what they're trying to do and I've done it at a high level. So for this client who's considering investing thousands of dollars into my program, seeing that I've built $1 million business using the exact strategies I teach made her feel confident in my expertise. If I've done it for myself, I can guide her to do it too. Finally, the last line of my bio gives her a next step. It says, free turn IG to sales machine. This line isn't just a statement, it's an invitation. I'm telling her, hey, if you want to get started in this right now, here's something free that can help you immediately. It's a call to action and it's simple and clear. So when you combine all of these elements together, who I help, how I help them, what makes me different, my credibility, and a clear next step, it creates a bio that does more than just introduce me. It tells potential clients everything they need to know to decide whether they want to learn more or work with me. So for this client, the bio was enough to convince her to stay. This brings me to the next part of the journey, how my highlights and pin posts kept her engaged and built even more trust. The moment she decided to stay on my profile because of my bio, she naturally started exploring. And her first stop, my Instagram highlights. So highlights are an incredibly powerful tool that so many people underestimate. Think of them as your mini website on Instagram. They're like a curated portfolio where you control exactly what someone sees and how they experience your brand. So instead of scrolling endlessly through posts, someone can click on a highlight and instantly learn who you are, what you do, and why they should trust you. It's quick, simple, and effective. So let me walk you through how I've structured my highlights and why they work so well. So the first highlight she would have clicked on is client wins. This is where I showcase testimonials, case studies, and real results my clients have achieved. People love to see proof. When they're considering working with you, they want to know, does this actually work, or has it worked for others like me? This highlight gives a gallery of transformation stories. It shows that my strategies aren't just theory. They deliver real results for real people. By the time she finished clicking through these, she was already starting to trust me. The next highlight she would have clicked is about me. This one is all about connection. So I share my background, my journey from corporate to entrepreneurship, and why I am so passionate about helping others grow their businesses on Instagram. So this isn't just about selling, it's about creating a personal connection. People want to work with someone they feel aligned with, and this highlight helps me build that connection. So she could see who I am as a person, not just as a coach or a marketeer. The third highlight is worked with me. This is where I can make it super clear how someone can take the next steps if they're ready to work with me. So I share my offers, whether it's a free resource, a course, or my coaching program, and explain how each one can help solve specific problems. So the highlights together create a seamless journey. Someone can start with proof, move into understanding who I am, and then get a clear idea of how to work with me, all in just a few clicks. After she explored my highlights, she then moved on to my pinned posts. So pinned posts are another tool that's easy to overlook, but they're really essential. So these are the posts that sit at the very top of your feed, acting as your frontline content. So I like to think of my pinned posts as my most strategic pieces of content. These posts are carefully chosen to do the heavy lifting for me. So they introduce me, build trust, and guide someone towards taking the next step. So here's how I structured my pinned posts. The first pinned post is my conversion story. This is a personal journey where I share my own journey. So how I went from struggling to figuring out the strategies that helped me build 2 successful businesses on Instagram. It's relatable and inspiring, and it shows that I've been where my audience is. This post isn't just about showing my success. It's about helping others see what's also possible for them. So the second pinned post is a case study with proof. This post highlights a real client's transformation, a before and after story that shows someone else followed my strategies and achieved incredible results. Proof is one of the most powerful tools for building trust, and seeing someone else's success helps potential client imagine their own. And the third pinned post is all about my free resource. This post introduces people to something of value that they can access immediately, whether it's a free training, a guide, or a downloadable template. It's designed to lower the barrier to entry and get people engaging with my content in a way that provides instant value. Now, what makes this pinned post so effective is that each one has a clear next step built into it. Whether it's encouraging someone to download for a free resource, book a call, or explore my programs, the posts are designed to guide people further along their journey without me needing to manually direct them. So when you combine strategic highlights with well thought out pinned posts, you're creating a profile that works for you 24/7. Okay, so after she finished exploring my highlights and pinned posts, her next step was scrolling through my content feed. And this is where the trust I'd already built became even stronger. So my content feed is designed with intention. So every single post I share has a purpose. It's to build authority, relatability, and credibility with my audience. Okay, so let me break that down for you. First, authority. My posts demonstrate that I know what I'm talking about. Whether it's sharing strategies, industry insights, or valuable tips, I'm showing my audience that I'm an expert in my field. This isn't about just looking knowledgeable. It's about actually providing solutions and quick wins and helping them feel confident that I can solve their problems. The next one is relatability. This is where I connect with my audience on a personal level. So I might share my own experiences, like the challenges I face when starting my business or the mistakes I've made along the way. Relatability builds a sense of connection. So when your audience feels like they can relate to you, they're more likely to trust you. And finally, credibility. So this is about proof. I show real results, whether it's my own wins, my client success stories, or transformations people have experienced through my programs. Credibility reassures your audience that you're not just saying you can help them, you've actually done it and you can do it again. So every post in my feed falls into one of these categories. Together, they create a mix of content that isn't just interesting to scroll through, but it's also bingeable. So when someone lands on my profile and starts scrolling, I want them to feel like I can't stop. So this client didn't just read one post and leave. She started scrolling, going deeper into my content, reading captions, watching videos, and engaging with the posts that resonated with her most. The trust building process doesn't stop at one piece of content. It's the collective experience of seeing multiple posts that reinforces your authority, relatability, and credibility. And here's another thing I do intentionally. I make sure my feed content works in tandem with my pinned posts and highlights. Everything is connected. So my feed reinforces the same message she saw in my pinned post, but it goes deeper. It gives her more opportunities to learn about me, understand my approach, and feel confident about taking the next step. By the time she finished scrolling through my feed, she had all the clarity and confidence she needed to move forward. Her next natural step was to check out my Instagram stories. So this is where everything came together. I sell on my stories pretty much every single day. For me, stories aren't just about showing what I'm doing. They're a strategic tool to connect with my audience and showcase my offers in a way that feels authentic and natural. And on that particular day, I was also selling my 90-day coaching program for 5K. Here's what I love about Instagram stories. They give your audience a chance to see you in the moment. So stories allow people to experience your energy, your personality, and the value you bring in a more real, unscripted way. It's where the connection feels immediate and personal, which builds trust faster than almost anything else. So I like to weave my daily activities onto my stories while tying everything back to my programs. Even if I'm sharing something casual, like celebrating a client win, prepping for a coaching session, or sharing my workday, it naturally incorporates what I'm offering and how it helps my audience solve their problems. So for example, on that day, I shared a sequence of stories promoting my 90-day program. Here's what it looked like. So the first one, I started celebrating a client win. I shared a story about a client who'd gone through my 90-day program and completely transformed their business. I highlighted how they went from feeling stuck to getting consistent leads and sales on Instagram. And then I moved into education. I explained what the 90-day program is all about and the kind of results it helps people achieve. I focus on the problems it solves, like not knowing how to attract clients on Instagram or struggling to make consistent sales, and painted a clear picture of the transformation they could expect. Next, I created urgency. I reminded my audience that this program has limited availability and encouraged them to reach out if they were ready to make a change. Finally, I included a call to action. I kept it really simple and clear. So this wasn't a pushy or overly salesy. It was natural and conversational. That's the beauty of selling on stories. It feels less like a pitch and more like an invitation. What makes stories so effective is that they're interactive, so people can reply, they can ask questions, and engage directly with what you're sharing. So this creates a sense of dialogue and connection, which is exactly what happened here. For this client, seeing my stories was the final step. She had already built trust through my highlights and pin posts, but stories gave her the confidence to take action. She replied to my story expressing interest in the program. Now this is where it gets really exciting because DMs are such a powerful tool for closing sales, especially for high ticket offers like my 5K 90-day program. When she sent me a DM, it wasn't random or hesitant. It was so intentional. She had already built trust through my bio, highlights, pinned posts, content, and stories. By the time she messaged me, she already knew she was interested. So my stories gave her the final push, and reaching out felt like the natural next step. Here's the thing about my DMs. They are partially automated. So this means that when someone sends me a message they often get an immediate automated response to help them take action quickly. So for this particular offer, I've actually set up an automated voice note that responds to anyone who inquires about the program. So it's personal and tailored, but it also saves me time by answering common questions and giving people the detail they need straight away. So this is where automation really shines, It makes the process feel seamless for the potential client while freeing up my time. But here's where the real magic happens. Because this was a 5K offer, I also jumped in personally to respond to her in real time. Once I saw her message, I took over the conversation. My approach in DMs is always to keep things personal, conversational, and focused on the client. So we exchanged a few voice notes back and forth. She shared what she was struggling with, specifically how she was trying to grow her business on Instagram but wasn't seeing results she wanted. I listened carefully and validated her concerns, then explained how my program was designed to solve exactly those problems. So I kept it really simple. I didn't try to overwhelm her with too many details or pressure her to decide on the spot. Instead, I focused on her goals and how the program could help her achieve them. It wasn't a hard sell, it was just a conversation. So within just a few minutes of going back and forth, she said she was ready to move forward. All of this happened in a matter of a few minutes. That's the beauty of combining an optimized profile, strategic content, and conversational DMs. It creates a seamless journey that feels effortless for the client. When done right, your DMs can be one of the most effective tools for closing high-ticket sales even without sales calls. This client went from discovering me to purchasing a 5K program in less than 24 hours. And much of that final step happened in the DMs. So it wasn't about convincing or pushing, it was about creating a clear, personal experience that gave her confidence in making the investment. Let's quickly recap everything that made this process work seamlessly. Taking a complete stranger from discovering me on Instagram to purchasing my 5K program in less than 24 hours. It all started with a viral reel, but not just any viral reel. It was intentionally designed to attract the right audience. It had an attention-grabbing hook, delivered real value, and spoke directly to the pain points of my ideal clients. That's why she didn't just scroll past, she clicked on my profile. Once she landed on my page, my optimized bio did exactly what it was supposed to do. It told her who I help, how I help, why I'm different, and how she could take the next steps. Because it was crystal clear, she stayed. So from there, she went into my highlights and pin posts. My highlights gave her everything she needed to feel confident about me, proof of client wins, insight into who I am, and direct information about my programs. Then, my pin posts reinforced that trust by walking her through my conversion story, showcasing a study with proof, and introducing a free resource to help her get started. So at this point, she was fully engaged. She didn't just stop there. She started scrolling through my feed. My content is intentional. It was designed to build authority, relatability, and credibility in a way that makes people want to binge it. She wasn't just reading one post, she kept going, absorbing my content, and seeing proof that I was the right person to help her. So her next move was watching my stories. And because I sell through stories almost every day, she caught me talking about my 90-day program. I shared a mix of client wins, broke down what the program helps with, and included a clear call to action. So stories gave her a real-time look, my energy, my expertise, and what it would be like to work with me. And that's when she messaged me. My DMs are partially automated, so she received an initial voice note with details about the program. But because this was a 5K offer, I also responded in real time. We exchanged a few voice notes back and forth where I answered her questions and reinforced how the program would help her. Within minutes, she was ready to move forward. She sent the payment, and just like that, she went from finding me to investing in my program in less than 24 hours. This worked because every single part of my Instagram was designed with intention. Nothing was random. Every step, my reel, my bio, highlights, pin posts, feeds, stories, and DMs worked together to guide her naturally through the process. If there's one thing to take away from this, it's this. When your Instagram is fully optimized, it can really sell for you, even when you're not actively selling. If you found this valuable, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below, letting me know which part of your Instagram you're going to optimize first. I'll see you in the next video.